Now, a couple comes to you, okay? I come here with my wife, and we're infertile. Do I get a list of stem cells that you have in the background of the actual parents, and do I get to say, well, I want, this ethnic background, or, inquire into the education level of the parents, or is there any process there in which I can filter what embryos I want to have implanted?
Well, the embryos we do have the demographic information on the couples donating. We have their height, their weight, their hair color, eye color, ethnic background, education level, and then we have medical history on them. We also have information on their couple's favorite movies, whether they played a musical instrument,
wow.
Whether they played sports, and then also we have information on the children that were born from the same group of embryos that are frozen. So they do receive a good bit of information, and we have a brief profile on all of our donors that they initially view, and then once they narrow down which donors they want additional information on, then we give them an extended profile to make their final choice.
Okay, so they do get to make a choice. And now, is that something that at times you might see that you have one frozen embryo that gets passed over and over again? It's sort of a sad situation. Is that ever a consideration, or it's just the adoptive parent's decision? If that's what takes place, you just keep the other ones in frozen, indefinitely. Is that the way it works?
Well, all the embryos that we have available eventually will be used. We will never destroy these embryos. So, of course, there will be embryos that might not be selected as readily as others, but we do have these adoptive couples coming to us. Some of them said, we just want a child. We don't care if that child's green. We just want a child.
Okay, so does that happen often, that you maybe have an African-American couple who gives birth to a Caucasian baby, or vice versa?
Well, we have had Caucasians give birth to African-American children, but in those cases, most of the time, the couples that have adopted those embryos may have already had an adoptive child that's African-American, so they want to have another child of the same ethnic background as the child they adopted the traditional way. Most of the time, though, they'll stay within their same ethnic group, and one of the groups of ethnic embryos that we don't have as many to offer to couples is our African-American, and we have more couples coming to us that are African-American, wanting African-American embryos than we normally have at any one time.